It's the Mr. Marty Show.
We're rolling. All right. You ready?
Welcome to the show. 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 The Mr. Marty Show. We're so glad you're here. So glad you're here. Pull up a chair. Got so much to cheer. Let's let out a big cheer.
Yay!
The Mr. Marty Show. Take it on, y'all. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show.
Mr. Marty Show.
The Mr. Marty Show.
Mr. Marty Show.
Mr. Marty Show.
Mr. Marty Show.
The Mr. Marty Show.
Marty Show.
The Mr. Marty Show. Show. Live action on the Mr. Marty Show. Bang! That's it. All right. Folks, give it up for my podcast partner and longtime buddy on the Mr. Marty Show, Sandy. 3 years. So we only have one chair between us, but
That's okay.
let's move aside.
Am I supposed to sit on your lap?
Yeah, something like that. Did you ever think that in 3 years we'd be still doing this?
No, I had very low expectations from a live show that featured yours truly as a co-host.
We did it when we first started. We started streaming live,
Yes.
and we found that to be kind of almost catastrophic in some ways.
Yeah.
You know, and so then that's how we started working on developing everything, putting editing and everything like that.
Yeah.
And Sandeep is the guy that told me get the Strung Out podcast going, and we have done now over 106 podcasts. We haven't missed a week since the start of the pandemic, and we haven't missed a week with the Mr. Marty Show. Not like your NBC and that stuff, Richard, where people take breaks. We just keep going.
No reruns. No
No
repeats.
reruns.
No hiatus.
No hiatus. No hiatus.
Well, partially because we don't have a life, but
We don't.
this is all we've got going.
That's exactly it. I mean, it's kind of depressing, but that's, you know, c'est la guerre.
But I remember Thursdays, it used to be Thursdays, after work,
Right,
I'd rush over and we just do a live taping like the good old days. Like it was 1920s television.
right. It
Right.
was very, very much live, and that was the idea of what we were trying to get. We were trying to get this live show. So
Do you miss the live shows, or are you
I
happy
like the
with-
live aspect of shows,
Yeah.
and you know, I like the fact that you can make mistakes, you know, and we try to work them in even to the recorded ones. But you know, it's neat that over the years you and I started this out, and now we have people all around the world contributing. So it's exciting, you know.
What's your favorite part of the show? Do you have a favorite segment?
I can't say I really do. I mean, there's each segment has developed into its own standalone thing. So that's that's something kind of neat about this, is that it's now a community of contributors, and that's what it's all about. So I want to say thanks again, Sandeep. You guys, this is the man responsible. And in a couple of weeks, you're going to have to turn the show on for me because I'll be on the road with Switchback, but that's okay. Sandeep, go Paul!
We know we'll be on time that night.
Hello, everyone. How you doing out there? And that's the audience here and those of you at home, because I know, and no rushing the stage during the performance. So we couldn't get all the extra security. I'm sorry. Oh, those two guys, I guess, could be our security guards up there. This is a song that I wrote during the pandemic, and there's a lot of vitriol going around these days, and people just yelling at each other and stuff. And I think there's a lack of kindness in the world. And so I wrote this kind of a song in a story. Rather than head things straight on, I like to address it in a story. Maria's loading groceries into her beater of a car, on which she barely makes a payments with her paycheck at the bar. Kids are loudly fighting, the bag of items rips apart. She starts sobbing so softly, it's just the last stab at her heart. The stranger sees her troubles and collects her scattered fruits. A simple act of kindness will always do some good. It wasn't a grand gesture, it was a simple task. But for those few fleeting moments, it was more than she could ask. Easing of the burden and awareness she was there. It only took a second to show her someone cared. It takes a little effort to brighten someone's day. A simple act of kindness, a hand along the way. Takes a little effort to brighten someone's day. A simple act of kindness, a hand along the way. A hand along the way. Thank you. That's how you feel. People love me.
We have a Chicago legend here, and I'm very
I
excited.
know, Marty. It's good to be here with you.
Dave Russo. So let's give it up for Dave. First of all.
Thank you.
How many years have you been doing this?
About 50.
About 50 years. And do I hear you right when you say you have something like 17 albums out? Or how many do you have?
41.
41 albums!
And we're working on the 42nd.
Oh
now.
my God. Now, how do you do that?
You write them. And then you record them. I mean, it's
What's the inspiration? I mean, just nonstop going?
Yeah, and I like to. I mean, that's what I always felt. I've been doing it full time for nearly 50 years. And
Okay.
it's what I love doing. I like to write, and I like to write in all different genres. I don't like to be stuck in one genre. So I'll have like a beach album, which has stuff like reggae and soca and that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And I'll have funny albums like the Christmas parodies, and then I'll do some folk stuff, and then I'll do R&B stuff. I wrote a whole that. So then I make up some weird stuff, like I have an album called All Folked Up, which is kind of a mockumentary. kind of like supposed found folk songs. And
Oh,
stuff.
wonderful! Like Spinal Tap or Mighty Wind kind of
Mighty
thing.
Wind, exactly what it is.
Perfect.
There's a booklet in it with fake backgrounds of the people who supposedly wrote the songs. And
Well, let me ask you this: has
Yeah.
music for you been a full-time thing, or has this been like a part-time pursuit? For people that are out there that want to, do something like you're doing, and come up with 41 albums, what do you recommend? I mean, that's a feat.
well, it's been full time for 46 years now.
Okay, well,
But
that's
it's
amazing.
work. You
Listen,
know what I mean?
40. That's awesome. Hard work.
A
Yes,
lot of
true, yeah.
bribery involved and
Yeah.
incriminating pictures of people.
Yes,
Uh,
that works.
well, that's why I'm on this show. I won't release this stuff
Listen,
about you. But it's a hard business.
Yes.
And but here's the thing I always suggest. I do run workshops on the music biz, and they say learn everything you can by yourself. Learn how
Uh-huh.
to be an engineer. Learn how to be a writer. Learn how to book. I started my own booking agency because I didn't
Yeah.
have anybody booking me on a regular. I was with a couple agencies, which you probably have been in the past, but you're low a man on the roster.
Right. It
Um,
never works.
So you got to do all this stuff so you can at least talk intelligently to people who are going to try to help you with it,
Yeah.
stuff like that, and then you can learn. I built my own recording studio, and look around. If you're a performer, look around and find a niche that you think you can fit in.
Mhm.
You have to separate yourself from everybody else.
Right. So that's, in a nutshell, some really good advice on how to really make it in the music business. Because I think the best part of that is you have to wear all the hats. Don't
You
rely
do.
on somebody to kind of take care of it
No.
for you, because ultimately the best employee you have is yourself. And
Right, like you're starting the podcast. You've been doing the podcast.
yeah, I mean it's do it yourself, and I always say have a siege mentality in the arts. As one of my friends said, do what you love and the money will follow, but he never says how much. And there's a great deal of truth to that. And I'm going to
Yeah.
put right above us right now your website. Where can people go to listen to your music?
Well, they can listen on YouTube or iTunes or
Well, what-
any of that stuff. And my website, though, is
Is what?
www.
Okay.
Dot
Dot.
Dave, D-A-V-E,
Right.
Rudolph, R-U-D-O-L-F as in fantastic, not P-H. I'm not P-H balanced, .com.
Very good. Well,
Yes.
it's above us right now. It's shimmering in all its beauty. And I want to thank you so much for being on the Mr. Marty Show. We're going to have some more music from Dave in a little bit. So you're watching live action on the Mr. Marty Show.
Yay!
Applause, applause, applause.
Marty.
All right.
Marty Party.
At the Marty Party. Okay.
Hi, Mr. Marty fans. Ma Gilmore here. Today, I'm thinking about family because we are with family. I often love to read Robert Frost. And one of the poems, it's a poem, but it's also a story, is about the death of the hired hand. And in this, a woman has this man come to the house who is their hired hand. And he is dying, she can tell. But every time there is a harvest, he always leaves. So her husband comes home and he's there. And he says, I can't take him on anymore because he always leaves us. And we can't do this with people leaving. And she says, no, you've got to see him. So he goes and looks. And he realizes that this man has a brother who is wealthy that he could go to. But he comes to their house because they are family. They are family. And family, per Robert Frost, is where you go and they have to take you in. Well, in this instance, they didn't have to take him in, but they did because they felt of him as being family also. So as we grow our families, we include those people who give us so much, that give us peace, teach us love, Teach us to know each other inside out. And we always, always will come back to them. Some more of Robert Frost's Birches, where you have got the birches who they sway with the wind, but when they are of ice, they bow down. But when that ice cracks, they're back upright. And that's what families teach us. How to go through hard times, how to go through the ice and the storms and still stay upright. So from me to you, I hope you have family ties that bring you together. So many families are different in these times. We have families with no fathers. We have families with 2 mothers, 2 fathers. We have people that we have adopted in our life as our family. So teach them peace, teach them love, and how to stand up strong, even during the hard times. As you know, I always say, from me to you, may there be peace in this world, and you bring it back to me. Maud Gilmore here. Peace.
Hello everyone, my name's Howard Friedman. So lovely to be here among friends. I'm going to read a poem about friendship for a friend of mine. It's called The Best Romances Are Friendships. A friend of mine, Ryan Mann, it's dedicated to. Good friends make bad luck seem fortunate. I wouldn't have called so many times otherwise. We wouldn't have gotten to the source. We need each other. 2 dying men taking turns saying, "Don't die on me." Enough last breaths to make a happy memory. Put it in a dancing vase, or a photograph trying to keep still, but falls over on its face like a child. Between us, there is love. One of us is going to California. One of us is buying a snowplow and driving it there, putting it there in a parking lot, the last American monolith. I thank you for hanging me down upside down over the river to see what it'd be like to jump. It was mesmerizing, thrilling to drink a glass of water afterwards, to feel like a master and commander of things that can fit in my palm. Man can fit in a river, but you told me the world needs me, like a prison needs corners, more corners and more corners still, so that when you look in, you can see all the men who are running from something. So it's not even a race. It's not even a race to shave for 3 months and then say, "I forgot how happy you make me." I forgot that when I pick up the phone, it starts gushing blood, as blood is the great connector. A friend tells me that I'm an honest man, and an honest man can walk on any street in the world and eventually find love. It won't even take very long. No one will threaten him because if they start to, they'll have to look him in the eye. Those honest eyes that drain you of something. What? I couldn't tell you. It's no longer there. Anger, I guess. Extreme sympathy. But now we are getting beers, holding each other's shoulders like split-off mountains. If the sunrise left you convulsing, the sunrise doesn't leave you just feeling one way. If you're feeling ugly, or out of love, or dissipitude, feel it and do not convince yourself otherwise. Be an honest man. Disappear into the forest. Re-emerge as a lamb. The object of someone else's dreams that they cling to obsessively, having found you in the waking world.
Yeah! Go get it, boy! Great!
Alright, this one's called Take Care of Your Elderly. When youth is done, the rain goes upwards, grows flowers in the sky, puts park benches where we can meet the 6 selves we woke up in, bury them in snow, so that when we wake up tomorrow, we are not alone. Do this over until we have an army. Deploy them to sit with 100 old ladies in 100 cafes, some in nursing homes, and keep humanity alive. Breathy conversation by breathy conversation, care for the world. The presence of someone else is so important, but not too many people, just one. Hold this weight. Keep the right conditions. When you're as sensitive as I am, we must keep each other alive. Life is so good that we forget all the right mutations. The shifting ear, the prizing hand, the limitless mind, drilled into little holes meant for the mouth and ear. All we have is each other, and we don't have that yet. Stay soft so that we need each other. Stay soft so that we forget, need each other again. Give me a chance to repeat, to repair you back to the pile of leaves that sits under the tree adoringly. This one's called The Easy. We love each other, we say. It's nice to forget to perform. Forget to walk the night like a blind person, and drive the morning hungry with wild kindnesses. Sweet like the wild kingdoms found in a delicate eye. If I broke glass, you would scream. If I painted eyes, you would laugh at me. Cut swimmers out with your eyes laughing and splashing the sun. Sniffing into tissues. Perfume echoes, whisper your setting name. When the sun sets, a gold sheet falls on everything. And I take the same routes home as always, but this time they feel completely different. I stayed up this way years ago, deep into 6 a.m., until sunrise, and then a little bit between it. When the sun rose, it looked lazy, not like the sour god it did in the high hours. It looked sleepy, tired, almost human, and I thanked my lucky stars, all of which were still with me. And I prayed, within an inch of my life, for my dehydrated human heart. Silences keep for years if refrigerated. Yes, those ones. Broke. They just broke. And families got together. And irises clicked like heels. And we were home again. Home again. Home again. It was so easy to tell.
I am Marcus Gentry, and this is a mindful moment. I've heard so many things already about family, and about friends, and about seniors, and about loyalty. And the word that keeps coming to mind for me is the word of respect. Aretha Franklin made it popular in her remake of a song about respect. And that is something that I think we so much need today, for family, for friends, for everybody around the planet. But the term is thrown around, like they say, like so many pieces of loose change, without really understanding or going beyond the surface of what respect means, which is to relook at ourselves. And I think it's so important that we relook at ourselves in 4 different areas. Relooking at ourselves, or respecting self, which means how well are we taking care of ourselves? Physically, are we doing what we need to do? Are we taking care of ourselves mentally and emotionally? Are we feeling stressed from that? Are we taking care of ourselves intellectually, ethically? Are we taking care of ourselves financially? Are we acknowledging and taking care of ourselves, not only our strengths, but our limitations, that we can't do everything, that we need to be able to ask for help and be able to accept help when necessary. That's respect just for self, knowing how to say no also, and knowing how to let go of things we need to let go, so we're not holding on to things that weigh us down. How about the second one of respect for other people? And don't we see a lack of that on television and social media? Respect for others, which means listening with empathy, listening with the intention of understanding other people who have differences of opinion, different religious views, looking differently, actually being able to respect the differences and the change that comes from other people. How about respecting the third area is our environment? Not only our physical environment, what can we do to maintain or improve our physical environment, or things in our social environment, so that we're not just watching it from a distance, but watching inside of our inner circle? Are there things that we can do to demonstrate respect for our physical environment and our social environment? And the last area is respect for the process of accomplishment, or the process of mastery. We're at a time where everything is about moving faster. The quicker phone, the faster computers, everything, technology, transportation. And we forget that there's a process to building relationship. There's a process to building business and creating music. Even this environment that we're in now was a process to get there. And the more we can understand and respect that process, the more we can give the time and attention that's needed to developing, creating what we need. I'm just suggesting, like our late Aretha Franklin said, if we had just a little bit more respect for ourselves, a little bit more respect for others, a little bit more respect for our entire environment, and respect for the process of reaching mastery, we might make things just a little bit better, at least in our inner circles as a beginning. My name is Marcus Gentry. The subject has been about respect, and this has been a mindful moment.
I'm back despite their best efforts to keep me out. I'm going to do a song. The group here, and I don't know about you at home, but a lot of us here are of a certain age. You young people will not understand this. That guy over there will not understand this at all. But this is a song about getting older. It's autobiographical. I hope you enjoy it. For those of you who can hear it. So, you're getting old when your body starts creaking. You're getting old when your memory's leaking. When you can grow hair on your rear, in your nose and in your ears, but on your head it's disappeared. Let's face it, you're old. When you wear black socks with your sandals, when your birthday cake costs less than the candles, when you're spending twice as long to look just half as good, when you're thinking about prunes more than you should, you're getting old when your body starts creaking. You're getting old when your memory's leaking. When you're grunting to tie your shoes and your back goes out more than you. When your ARP card gets renewed, well, let's face it, you're old. When your idea of weightlifting is standing up. When you can't remember the drink that's in your cup. When you're looking for your glasses and you find them on your head. When you're checking the obits to see who's dead. You're getting old when your body starts creaking. You're getting old when your memory's leaking. When you're grunting to tie your shoes and your back goes out more than you. When you hate things 'cause they're new. Let's face it, you're old.
I'm Richard Friedman, best known as the father of Howard Friedman, ace poet. I'm a theater guy for a long time, a writer. We used to have a collective called the Yellow Press, published a lot of books and did a reading series in Chicago. And now mostly I hang on a golf course and, watch things on TV, on Netflix. So list poems are really easy to write, so I'm good at it. Because if it's the easy way out, that's a good way sometimes. This is sort of like Dave. I put new titles for old songs. Okay, someone mentioned, Ma, in your talk about teaching children. Instead of Teach Your Children by Crosby, Stills and Nash, I thought it should be Teach Your Chicken. Okay, The Who, they have a song that, Who Are You? I thought it should be Whom Are You? Lou Reed, Walk on the Mild Side. Welcome to the Jingle, you know that one. Instead of, Donovan did a song called Catch the Wind. I changed it to Catch the Trump. I shot the Eve of Construction, 6 Days on the Phone, Ring of Lyre, Lyre, 99 Solutions, Newark State of Mind. That's it. I shot the Sharif, Lost in the Super Walmart, Fly Me to the Zoom, All Wrong, The Watchtower. That's my favorite.
It takes a minute.
No Bagel, No Cry after Bob Marley. Call Me Mumbai. Not maybe. Here's one that's unfortunately very apt. Won't Get Fueled Again. 24 Hours from Tesla. Gentile on My Mind. My Moderna. And the last one, Putin on the Ritz. Okay. The Goose in the Graveyard knows what she's doing. Did not choose randomly this place with sweet memorial flowers, the fattest tender worms and tasty grasshoppers in summer. It calms her to visit the manicured plot and walk the gravel roads that connect the sections carefully to make sure families sleep together and religions can stay apart in death. It's a safe haven in her busy day of flying in formation, following those annoying squawks of the lead bird. There are no evil groundskeepers chasing her down with BB rifles like at the golf course nearby. If parks are the lungs of the city, what body part are the cemeteries? Let's say she ponders this question and more on her daily landings as she sneaks away from the flock for some alone time. Why do relatives visit decaying bones interred within costly coffins on anniversaries, Memorial Day, and sun-blessed Sundays in the spring? The Goose Way is very different, she thinks, wondering if she's still a loyal Canadian, if she never flies north anymore, sporting the bold white swoosh on her neck to remind her of her kind and her mission to keep airborne, find a gander, and hatch the eggs that harbor yellow-headed goslings this time of year. Yes, she'll be back tomorrow. All right. I gave myself an assignment. I saw some things in the neighborhood that I thought were pretty funny.
Okay.
You know, businesses. One of them I think I already did what was Moonlight Concrete. But okay, you ready? Yeah. This is an actual place on Peterson Avenue near where I live. Joyful Dental Care. That's a pretty funny name. Joyful Dental Care. Yes, they love their work. Few patients wouldn't rather gargle salt water than visit. I'm of an age where every x-ray indicates another root canals calling my name. Standard checkups lead to bargaining sessions with the billing department to juggle insurance limits with patients to wait for the pain to leave. Gums always recede, and brushing and flossing never overcomes the sands of time, whittling away the enamel and yellowing my public image. New crowns are being fitted monthly. I figure I've invested the cost of a Prius in the 29 stalwarts that remain in this mouth and able to chew. I worship the Father, the Son, and regal daughter-in-law of the neighborhood dental practice who keep me fortified against the indignity of foregoing popcorn bagels and fresh carrots for a life of soup, yogurt, and protein shakes. Teeth are insistent and relentless, whether hanging by threads or cemented in place like pillars. Does it hurt their feelings when sharp instruments knock on their windows as the code of care passes from doctor to technician, calling each one by number, never allowing them the respect of individual names? I've spent cumulative weeks reclined in a chair, hoping my earbuds won't fall out as Led Zeppelin and Warren Zevon serve as my anesthetic, just waiting to be released into the parking lot of relief, clutching the goodie bag with a new toothbrush, tiny canister of floss, and a whole new outlook on life, sans decay, or cavities begging to be filled with gold. So if you take that, it'll work out. Thank you. It'll work out.
Wow, we had a great show today, didn't we? Yeah, and let's give a big round of applause for everybody that was on the show. Dave Ruda, Marcus Gentry, Mindful Moment, Ma Gilmore, and Richard and Howard Friedman. So, it was just a very, very nice show, and you're going to have to sing us out. Are you ready to do it? Thanks. Everybody, thanks for watching the show. Thanks for watching the show. Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. Oh, we got a verse. Yeah.
Thanks for being here to see us all together. Even you on your computer. Thanks for watching the show. I really hope you like the show.
The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show. The Mr. Marty Show.
There's an old joke. How does a train? It's a train.
But few patients wouldn't rather gargle salt water than visit. I'll go start again. Joyce.
Oh, it's the drone. He's droning while we're doing it.
Yeah, can you wait a second? We need to adjust the umbrella.
Oh, you're adjusting the umbrella?
How do we, do I just push it?
I'm that night. Be on time.
Yeah, it's always on time when Sandeep starts.
There you go.
There you go.
Parking lot next to work. There's a whole flock of geese just walking across the street. Just, the usual, just walk, slowly waddling across. And all of a sudden they all start running, flapping their wings. A coyote comes flying up behind them, grabs one of them, oh no, and then just very, very briefly walks back across the street like, I'm eating good today.
Yes, they love their work, but few patients wouldn't rather gargle salt water.
Take it again.
You're gargling salt water.
Yeah.
There's an old joke about how does a folk musician make $2 million?
Oh, I think I know this, but
You start with 1 million.
yeah, you start.
No, I did that wrong.
You did it backwards.
I did it backwards.
It's
Yeah,
how do you make $1 million? You start with 2
2 million. That's right.
You're dyslexic too. Well, I like that about
Yes.
you.
My name is Evad.
Dental care. Joyful dental care. Yes, they love their work, but few patients wouldn't rather gargle salt water than this time for sure.
Michelle and Catherine.
Hi.
Are you rolling?
Rolling.
Are you rolling, Mike?
Rolling,
Okay. Here we go. We're going to do a quick little interview.
Rolling. Keep those
All
babies
right.
rolling raw. Better change their diapers or you will get raw.
Want to do it one more time?
You can do it.
He's a magician.
You could do
Okay,
it. You'll make it sound
I'll
like
make it sound so
I was articulate.
It's the Mr. Marty Show. It's the Mr. Marty Show.